area is full of festivals. Almost every second day, third day, fourth day, or in a week, there is a festival throughout the country. But according to me, Makar Sankranti, the kite flying day in Gujarat, Uttarayan, is the only festival in which all caste, Hindu, Muslim, Christian, Isai, religions, they all participate. I mean, it's totally a festival of all the people of the city. Oh, magnificent. So the whole population of the city participate unanimously with great pleasure on the same day.
My name is Ben Harraj. Everyone calls me Pompey. This is my city, Ahmedabad.
Ahmedabad, a thriving industrial city with almost 5 million inhabitants. Located 500 kilometres to the north of Mumbai, Ahmedabad is the commercial centre of the prosperous state of Gujarat. For a city often divided by religious disputes, there is one day each year when the people set aside their differences to celebrate the festival of Makar Sankranti, creating a spectacle unlike anything else in the world.
I just bought the milk from the milkman. He delivers in our area each day. This is my house. I stay here with my dad, my sister and my grandma. That's my friend's rickshaw. He's just helping dad. And this is my grandma. I'll just give her the milk. Here you go, grandma. I love her so much, and she's 84 years old and she's the boss of our house. This is my auntie's scooter. She's a doctor and she's taking this scooter for transport to the dispensary every day. I'm just going to give more milk to my sister, Leta. Leta.
The city has a very important kite festival on 14th of January. Can you imagine the number of people and number of kites being flown in the city? You can't count it. You can't just count it. Why they fly so much of kites on just one day? The only reason probably to my mind is the competition. Cutting kite, losing kite, getting kite. It's magnificent. It's an experience which cannot be expressed by words.
My sister has just asked me to buy some vegetables from the local market.
Ahmedabad was founded on the banks of the Sabramati River by the Muslim king, Sultan Ahmed Shah, in 1411. Its Muslim origin was influenced by the work of Hindu and Jain stonemasons, fusing together the Islamic and Indian styles, leaving the city a world-renowned architectural heritage. Throughout Ahmedabad's history, Muslim, Hindu, Jain and Christian communities have coexisted side by side, but there have been violent clashes. Communal riots in 1714 prompted the development of walled housing clusters called pols, which housed communities of people from a common caste, profession or religion. Many of these pols still stand, surrounded by sections of the old city wall and fortified gates. important industrial centre during the 17th century with the arrival of the British East India Company and grew to become the textile capital of India. With over 70 cotton mills, it is still sometimes referred to as the Manchester of the East. To India in 1915, established his ashram on the banks of the Sabarmati River. In this diverse city of divided communities, he cultivated his philosophy of economic and social equality for all mankind.
This is the way I start my day. I come down in the kitchen. My sister Lata makes tea and roti for me. Today my friend Tilu is coming over. We are going to go to the nearby village where my uncle is having few contacts with the kite makers, so we can buy cheap kites from there. Tilu will be here soon, so I have to hurry up. This is my best friend Tilu. We grew up together. During the festival, we always fly kites together. Chalo, jaldi ji. This is the Gazipura area where my uncle's friends lives. They are Muslims and they are the best kite makers, and we are going to go there and buy kites. बड़ी छोटी सा बना
देखो गुलाबी पीला लाल पोपटी और ये है तो चक्की है
ऐसा है ना सही लगता है
अभी चढ़ जाती है
सही है हाँ तो हम ये तो आप ही का थैंक यू
कारखाना है, ये सब पतंगा बनाते हैं।
ये तो पाउडर बना के
कैंचियाँ बना
साल भर में बनाते नहीं है अभी जैसे मकर
For 50 years we have been making kites. We make the kites all year round. But after Makar Sankranti finishes, we rest for a month and catch up on the accounts. I employ 12 workers and 4 or 5 family members who also work throughout the year. They are paid according to the number of kites they make. The number of kites a worker makes in a day depends on the worker. Some make 4,000, some 5,000, some only 2,000. In 1 year we make between 1 and 1.2 million kites. The paper of the kite determines the price. If the kite has very thin paper, the cost will be more. After that, the price depends on the designs and on the size. Small kites are cheaper and large kites are more expensive.
छोटी साइज की कम कीमत, बड़ी साइज की होगी इससे ज़्यादा, इससे बड़ी साइज होगी ज़्यादा कीमत.
अपनी ऐसी किसी दुकान है तुम्हारे ये
एक है, उधर दो है, मकार है हमारी, और 3 दुकानें हैं.
Is being called the Kite Festival of Ahmedabad. But the word festival is being used in many places in the world. If it is a kite festival in America, kite festival in France, kite festival in UK, is the kite flying by the professional. Well, those festivals, 60, 70, 200 people, the kite flyer, they meet together, fly kites, there is a beautiful sky, but it's a beautiful sky, that's all. What about the human involvement? What about the spirit? What about the pleasure? Whereas in this city, out of 40 lakhs, 15 lakhs of the people are kite flyer. They know how to fly kite, cut somebody's kite. They are master kite flyer.
In a land rich with culture and ancient religious traditions, the movement of the sun, moon and stars has been closely watched for thousands of years. Professor K.K. Shastri is an expert in ancient Sanskrit scripture and Hindu philosophy.
Yes. The thing is this, there are 12 constellations, Rashi we call it. When sun comes in Makar constellation, then it is called Makar Sankranti. Sankranti means joining of two things.
Around 1200 BC, the entry of the sun into the constellation of Capricorn, or Makar as it is called, coincided with the winter solstice, and it became known as Makar Sankranti. The winter solstice marks the start of the sun's northern journey in the sky. This 6-month period, known as Uttarayan, is highly auspicious for Hindus.
Indian people prefer to die in these 6 months, because then and then we can get salvation. And those who die in dark days, 6 months, they don't get. They have to return again. They go up to the moon and then return.
Makar Sankranti, the day which marks the start of Uttarayan, has been celebrated by Hindus from their earliest recorded history.
For thousands of years. For thousands, I say, not hundreds.
As Professor K.K. Shastri explains, early Hindu astrologers incorrectly calculated the date of Makar Sankranti.
There is mistake in the calculation. The original day, every year is 14th in all these things, in false arithmetic. While in correct, it is 22nd December.
the real date of Makar Sankranti and the actual commencement of Uttarayan is the 22nd of December, 22 days earlier. Although their spiritual fate is resting on it, the ambiguity appears to be of little concern as the people are swept up in kite flying.
It's a new thing. It's a new thing. It started in the reigns of sultans, at least from 14th to 15th century. They also fight. It is only for enjoyment. It has no spiritual background.
My dad is a Christian minister and he is the superintendent of 200 churches. Today he is traveling to the villages which are 300 kilometers away. There has been few problems in the villages. Few churches and people's homes got destroyed and burned by radical groups. So I just walked with him to the train station.
A short walk from the relative quiet of Pompey's home, the main interstate train line runs through the area. As is common throughout India, the homeless and poor live in shanties near the railway tracks.
I don't have a full name. My name is just Vicky. I live in the slums behind the railway station in Gangaji's field. In my house there is my uncle, an auntie, my mom, 2 sisters, 3 brothers, 2 younger and 1 older. But they are actually all my uncle's children. While I was still a child, my father left my mother. So now I will never leave my mother. Even if she beats me, I'll never leave her because she is my mother.
Vicky, his mother, auntie, uncle and their 5 children all live in this one room. To help support the family, Vicky makes toys to sell. The simple spinning wheels called chakris are made from strips of coloured plastic and drinking straws. A country known for its poverty, India also contains vast wealth. In burgeoning new suburbs expanding out to the city's west, the wealthy beneficiaries of Ahmedabad's industrial growth live in prestigious enclaves with full-time security guards.
My name is Manish Chawla. I live in the Thuletes area of Ahmedabad, near the drive-in. I have 1 baby brother. My father is a cloth merchant and my mother is a housewife. I like Uttarayan very much, and I only fly to cut other people's kites. I fly with my friends. Sometimes they come to my place and sometimes I go to their place. I prefer to go to my cousin's house and fly with my cousins. My mom likes flying kites. My dad doesn't fly kites, but he still enjoys the festival.
In the heart of the old city is the quarter where Muslim merchants trade in cloth and leather goods. Pompey has invested money in a friend's business and he visits him to see how things are going. As a Christian, Pompey avoids riding his motorbike in this area during the Muslim month of Ramadan, as the atmosphere is tense and he fears that an accident could result in a beating.
This is my good friend Arif, whom I met at school. He has a leather wholesale business. He has just invited me to go to his house.
My name is Arif Iqbal Hatila. I live near the Red Gate in the center of Ahmedabad. I have 7 brothers and 1 sister, as well as father and mother. I also have a grandfather who lives here. Upstairs, my uncle and auntie live. They have 2 boys and 3 girls. 2 of my brothers are married, and they have their own homes in other parts of the city. Both of them have daughters.
Arif has just gone to the mosque for the prayer. Being a Muslim, he has to do 5 times each day. This year, Makar Sankranti is falling in the month of Ramadan, which is a fasting month, and we don't know how many Muslims will be flying kites this year.
The Islamic influence on the city is evident in the many minarets that dot the skyline, competing for prominence with the smokestacks from cotton mills. The city's main mosque, the Grand Jama Masjid, often described as the most beautiful mosque in the East, was built on top of a Jain temple. It is believed that the black marble footstone at the entry to the mosque is the base of the upturned Jain idol. At the end of Ramadan, which is the 9th month on the Islamic lunar calendar, the Muslim community celebrates Eid ul-Fitr, the festival of fast breaking. In preparation, the mosques are draped with strings of coloured lights. Once forming part of the old citadel wall, Sidi Saeed Mosque is renowned around the world for its intricate stone window tracery. Pilgrims travel thousands of kilometres to pray in the mosques of Ahmedabad. To the south of the city centre lies Kankaria Lake. Constructed in 1451, it has 34 sides, each measuring exactly 60 metres. In the centre of the lake lies the Island Palace, which was used by the Mughal Emperor Jahangir as a summer retreat. The lake is a popular picnic spot and Vicky's favourite place to sell chakkaris, particularly during this festive period. As early as the beginning of November, there are fleeting glimpses of the odd kite being flown by young children. As the festival draws closer, this scattered kite activity begins to increase until the afternoon sky is dotted with numerous kites as children refine their flying skills. As the new year arrives, the city begins a remarkable transformation. On almost every street corner, kite shops begin opening. Some kite shops are set up just for the festival period. However, many seasonal shops change their merchandise to meet the insatiable demand.
आले तो पाचशे मुकही नाही मी 156 95 रुपया
This is the place where I buy my strings and reels. You can buy from any roadside shops. The important thing is to look for the brand name and the thickness of the string. Are like 6-strain strings, and from here I'll take it to the manja makers, and over there they'll put the powder glass on the string.
In addition to the plentiful kite shops, there are itinerant workers from all over northern India, known as manjawallas. Their expertise is in the application of a powdered glass mixture to the kite strings to make them razor sharp. Footpaths and vacant blocks of land all around the city are filled with lengths of tightly stretched cotton thread as it is coated with the mixture. The special fighting string is known as manja.
I travel 1,000 kilometers from Agra each year to do this business for the month before the festival. I have 2 children, a boy and a girl. The glass mixture called ludi is made from rice, soda, soap, colored dye and glass powder, which you can buy or make by grinding up pieces of glass. It takes a lot of strength to put ludi on the string. Otherwise, the mixture doesn't coat the string evenly. Doing it by wheel is one thing, but that only covers the string and is not as good, because there is no actual pressure on the string. We put cloth around our fingers, but still the string cuts through. When we eat with our hands, it is very painful.
Yeah, this is the way they put the manja on the string. They take a powder glass and glue and they rub on the string backwards and forwards. And it's very important for me to stay here and watch, otherwise they will not do the proper job. And the guy just told me that I have to wait here for 2 hours before I get my string. Finally my string is ready. I think they've done a good job. Tilu has gone home, so I'll just catch a rickshaw home.
Christmas and New Year are only celebrated in Ahmedabad by the Christian communities. After recent spates of violence against Christians throughout Gujarat, the atmosphere during this period is very tense. Extremist gangs have threatened that there will be attacks on anyone celebrating after midnight on New Year's Eve. To counteract the threats, police patrols have been set up and there are checkpoints at major intersections throughout the area. Fortunately, the night passes quietly, the peace shattered only by the sound of fireworks.
very difficult to fly these Indian fighter kites because they just have one string. You have to have some technique when you are flying this kite. You have to be very careful that you just don't fly and keep it still, because you have to constantly fly these fighter kites, and if you don't fly, they will fall down from the sky. You just don't fly like other countries. You just don't fly and stand there. We fly to cut other people's kites. That's the whole purpose. Once it's up in there, everyone has to fight each other. That's the whole purpose of the Indian fighter kites. Yeah. What you do, if the guy is in front of you and is flying, you go under his kite and you have to pull it down. So you have to go like cross, like that, cross, and when you are going, don't go cross and cross, but halfway you have to make it straight and then go straight. So go horizontal, then go horizontal, and then vertical you have to go. So then you can chop it down. If you keep on going horizontal, then your kite gets chopped. So sometimes you have to let your string go, sometimes you have to pull it down. And when you're pulling it down, you make sure that you're pulling it very fast and very continuous. You don't stop. As soon as you stop, you are chopped. Only good man. Yeah, yeah. We just caught this guy's kite, and we just told him lapet, which means reel it down. That's the way of taunting and jeering. Like we are telling him there's no more kite left, so you just reel your string like this. See? So this is the way of taunting. It stirs them up, and it's really good.
Each kite cutting is big celebrated. You know how? Hey, Nirang, jaldi, niche utar, head, kar. You see, it's being celebrated with drums and sound and so much. There's a spirit. You can't be loose on the ground. You have to be constantly alert with the kite. If you are little loose, somebody will cut it. You lost the kite. So the whole day, there is constant cutting and losing and getting kite.
We celebrate together. We enjoy it together. If there is some disturbance, we can't enjoy it, no? So disturbance we don't require.
It does become a festival of unhappiness once in a while, you know. Like in the last about 20 years, there have been at least two instances, you know, when communal riot, I mean Hindu-Muslim riot has started on January 14th.
It is a kind of fight by playing kite. So many times it turns into, quarrels, small quarrels. And if it is properly handled, it can be stopped. If it is not properly handled, it may turn into bigger one. Unluckily, if they are from the different, community, it may turn into communal riots. But we take precautions and we see that there are no stones, nothing on the top of the floors, so that on that time they can just fight with the words only. And we may save the, if this festival goes peacefully, the whole year generally goes peacefully.
Outside the Kalupur police station, officers receive their rooftop postings for the day of the festival. Ensuring that there is a highly visible police presence is crucial to reducing conflicts. The inherent rivalry during the festival has in the past sparked simmering tensions between the Hindu and Muslim communities, causing widespread rioting and requiring military intervention and curfews to restore the peace.
We are not here to fight with each other, and we don't want to make our religion so disgusted, no? That one may don't like to see at religion. So let us have this, when we celebrate this Makar Sankranti, that let us have this atmosphere, not only in India, but at global level.
each year. The minimum number of kites that each person buys is 100. For the last 10 years I've been running this shop. We start selling kites each year from November. The cheapest kite is a plain white kite and costs 65 rupees for 100 kites. The most expensive kite is the one that has the design with 2 eyes on it and costs 200 rupees for 10 kites.
Which are most popular in whole of Ahmedabad. They are 50 years old. We have come here a few days early because the day before the Makar Sankranti, the whole stage is jam-packed. You can't even walk on the street. We have come here to buy a few things. One of them is the white kite, which will be flying on the night of Makar Sankranti. We have also bought lanterns, which goes with the white kite. We will be flying on the night. Chilu has also bought few things. He has bought kites for his sister. He has also bought string, which is Barali, yeah. And this is a popular brand which few people prefer that. And we are pretty much ready for the business.
Particularly for those who can't afford to buy kites, there's the constant challenge of catching a kite that has been cut. The young street kids are adept at chasing down a loose kite, and armed with long bamboo poles called jundas, they risk life and limb in their pursuit of a free kite.
It is a positive festival, in spite of some negative overtones, which is basically one is communal riot, second is we have many accidents, that is fall from rooftops.
Doctors estimate that around 25 people die each year as a result of the festival, and 300 to 400 are seriously injured.
Oh yeah, many people die because now we have high-rising buildings, and on the terrace they fly the kites, and fall from very big height, they fall and they get paraplegia, head injury, and many people die because of this fall and injury. This string is specially prepared in the glass and the color, and with the flow and the wind direction, it is very tight. So when you on the particularly pillion riding on the bike or on the scooters, and if it is on the throat, then many people have died. Last year on one of our doctors died because of this injury, because of the cut throat.
While riding to the dispensary on her scooter, Pompey's auntie received a severe cut to her throat from a kite string. She explains that while at the hospital receiving stitches, she saw many other people there with festival-related injuries. The city is alive with excitement as the day of the festival draws near. Kites are everywhere, in the sky, on the streets, tangled in the power lines, caught in the trees. Ahmedabad is swept up in a frenzy of kite flying activity. It is called Patang Gila, meaning kite fever. The night before the festival is mayhem in the Raipur kite markets. The residents of Ahmedabad flock to the markets in their tens of thousands to buy kites for the festival. It is estimated that they spend around 100 million rupees each year on kites, reels and manja. Once purchased, the kites require preparation before they can be flown. And many of these people will stay up most of the night to ensure that they are ready for the next day's combat.
It is the night before the Makar Sankranti, and tonight we are busy preparing our kites for tomorrow. We are putting kinyas on our kites, which looks like this. It is an important job because the way you put the holes and the length of the strings affects the flying of the kite. We do this tonight so that we don't waste time tomorrow, and we can concentrate on flying the kites.
Even in the pre-dawn darkness, the enthusiasts are out, and the rustling of their kites can be heard overhead as their cries punctuate the sky. This year, Pompey and Tilu choose to fly from the top of a neighbouring apartment block to give them more of an advantage. As the sun rises, the action begins to heat up. Stereo systems are taken up onto the rooftops. The latest Hindi movie songs provide a peculiar soundtrack to this ancient festival. The opportunity to fly kites is preceded by the challenge to catch kites. The street kids stand on guard with their juntas, ready to take chase the moment a cut kite drifts by. Vicky has been chasing kites all morning. Finally, his perseverance pays off. The lower population density means that there are few kites for Manish and his cousin to fight with. Downstairs at Manish's, the family's local sadhu, or holy man, has come to pray a blessing over Manish's baby brother. Muslim quarter, the action is a little more subdued than usual as the community continues to observe their month of fasting. After attending morning prayers, Arif launches his first kite for the day. Of this normally bustling city, it is a rare sight to see both Hindu and Muslim businesses closed together on the same day. Streets that are normally choked to a standstill are almost empty as the city's residents congregate on the rooftops.
Now it's your turn. Make sure you are chopping someone's kite, okay? Let that out already. Let me up chokru on
Pompey's older sister, Rosie, is known in the neighbourhood for her kite flying skills. Vicky is doing some repairs on a kite he has caught. Using old newspaper and boiled rice paste, he mends a tear in the kite. An important part of the festival is the preparation of rice and lentil dishes, which are only eaten at this time of year.
I'm not interested in flying kites because the string is very sharp and I get scratches on my hand, so I don't like this festival. I love watching kites, but I don't like flying.
Sweets made of sesame seeds are also eaten during the festival and are believed to have special nutritional and medicinal qualities. The city's poor line up outside temples to receive gifts of grain.
When you are flying the kite, you become one with the kite. Forget around you. You are very conscious about your kite. So it is forgetting yourself. I think it's something very spiritual. People are going to Himalayas for this state of mind, forgetting yourself, forgetting the world. It's very important in life to forget things around you.
I got two of them together.
You know, at the end of the day, all blood is coming out of the finger. This is how the life, the excitement, the pleasure, cutting, getting, losing, everything. You don't know how the day is passed. Fabulous. You can't express it by words. What amount of pleasure one is getting. What is the essence of life? What is life? What is festival? You should get a tremendous lot of pleasure real pleasure. You forget the world. You become one with the kite, one with the line, one with the sky.